What's going on, guys? It's 49ers Talk TV, and there are some I'm coming back with another video. This is a breaking NFL news video. Dez Bryant has officially been released by the Dallas Cowboys. After 8 seasons with the team, he was drafted by Dallas, and he stayed on the rosters pretty much as their number one target for those 8 seasons, or for Dallas's number one receiver for those 8 seasons. So, I kind of knew in a way this was going to happen before the free agency even happened, just because for the simple fact that Dez Bryant, he didn't get along with some of the staff there, and I feel like when you don't get along with some of the staff, that tends to get you released, and there's obviously other factors that go into it, but when you don't get along with the staff, there's obviously that's a bigger problem than usually what just getting released is. So Dez Bryant got released, and I'm just gonna list a few landing spots for this wide receiver in Dez Bryant. I believe that the Washington Redskins could be an absolute perfect fit. They're bringing Alex Smith. He said supposedly there's a report that came out that said Dez Bryant told Cowboys executives he will see them twice a year when the news released that he got cut. Washington's in the NFC East. You got Philadelphia, and you also got the New York Giants. Giants don't necessarily need a receiver. Well, they could use one. Washington definitely needs one. You could probably put him in Philadelphia. I could see Philadelphia going after him, just for the simple fact that they got rid of Torrey Smith. They could use a receiver. It really all depends, but as of right now, I'd say I looked on this report, and I did see that the 49ers were listed as the number one landing spot for Dez Bryant. And how, I don't know. We definitely need a receiver. But considering there's a report that came out that said Dez Bryant wanted to face the Dallas Cowboys twice a season, kind of like the Sherman deal, where he stayed in the NFC West, and we're facing... Sherman's facing his former team twice a year. That's what Dez wants to do. He wants to stay in the division, it seems like, and he wants to play the Cowboys twice a year. And depending on what happens there, that was just a report. I don't necessarily know if that was true. But if it is true, obviously 49ers are out of the equation. But right after Dez Bryant got released, they came out with suitors to fit for Dez Bryant, and the 49ers were at the top of the list, considering for the fact that we need a receiver. Dez Bryant and Jimmy Garoppolo duo would be an absolute filthy duo. He's also coming off of a neck injury, which could affect, teams' interest in him. But we'll see how it all pans out. Personally, I don't think the Niners will hop on him. I think they want to go younger, especially in Shanahan's offense. So if I could guess a team where Dez Bryant would be throwing up the X next season, it'd have to be between Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington. If I had to narrow it down to two, I'd have to do Baltimore and Washington. Baltimore just signed Crabtree, which that's a good pickup, but they need another receiver. They don't necessarily have that number one receiver. So if I had to choose two suitors that would go perfect, it'd have to be Baltimore and Washington, just for the simple fact that Washington, he stays in the NFC East. If the report is true, he will face Dallas twice a year. And then you go with Baltimore. He fits in Baltimore's scheme perfect. And not only that, the Baltimore Ravens need a receiver. They have somewhat cut money. They could go out and get him. But if he comes to San Francisco, I'd be more surprised. I'd be happy as hell. We have the cap money to keep him. We have the cap money to sign him to a deal. It's just that I think the Niners, John Lynch, Parag Marante, Adam Peters, Kyle Shanahan, and all of them want to go younger. There's receivers in the draft we could get. People like Christian Kirk, Anthony Miller, Cortland Sutton will not be in the second round, but we could always get receivers in the draft. One thing I do not like about Dez Bryant, and this is obviously just one of my flaws about him, considering what the Niners need. The Niners need a red zone threat receiver. We have people that are like 6'2", but we need like a tall, like 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" type receiver. Dez Bryant's only 6'2". He can be used as a red zone threat, but I think Shanahan wants a big, tall receiver. The Niners were working out with people. The Niners were actually working out with people from like D2 schools and like like not no name schools, but like lower schools and people that are entering the draft, and they're actually working out people like that. Tall receivers that are not coming from the big name schools. They were working out people. But my favorite receiver in the draft personally is Christian Kirk. I think he's a beast, just from watching film on him. So if we don't get Dez Bryant, Niner fans do not be sad, because the draft is still coming. And obviously Jimmy Garoppolo can work with what he has. If we don't draft a receiver, which I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna get a receiver in the draft. So who knows? But we'll figure out where Dez lands, and wherever Dez does land, hopefully he tears it up and gives the Cowboys fans and or gives the Cowboys executives that feeling, man, we should never released him. So other than that, that's going to wrap it up for the video. Let me know if you guys want to see if Niners should pursue Dez Bryant. Obviously, we have the cap money to pursue him. We could sign him to like a 3-year, 2-year deal, maybe even a 1-year deal, and we'll see where that puts him. So let me know in the comments down below if the Niners should sign Dez Bryant. Without further ado, go Niners.